Millions of years ago, creatures roamed Antarctica that seemed more at home in a nightmare than on our planet. Giants without fear, predators without mercy. What they left behind now lies deep beneath the ice. Yet Antarctica was once alive. Long before it became a realm of snow, ice, and wind, it was home to trees, ferns, and flowers. The climate was mild, sometimes even warm. But around 34 million years ago, everything changed. The temperature dropped, the ice came, life withdrew and vanished. But what if the ice doesn't just preserve, but also traps? Creatures that didn't simply disappear but slumber, waiting for the moment the ice breaks. In this video, we peel back the layers of ice and uncover 7 bizarre extinct animals that once ruled the mysterious continent of Antarctica. Terror birds, birds of prey without mercy. Imagine standing on an open plain and out of the underbrush charges a 3-meter-tall bird, faster than you can run, with a beak sharp enough to crush bone. No claws, no wings, no mercy. These were the terror birds, the undisputed rulers of their time. These giant flightless birds, part of the Phorusrhacidae family, lived millions of years ago in both South America and Antarctica, back when the southern continent was still green and habitable. They couldn't fly, but their speed, strength, and razor-sharp beaks made them deadly predators. Fossilized footprints and bones show that these birds actively hunted on land, likely preying on smaller mammals, reptiles, and young herbivores. Their only modern relatives are the relatively harmless Seriemas, a sharp contrast to their terrifying ancestors. As Antarctica began to freeze, their habitat collapsed. The prey vanished, and so did the hunters. All that remains are footprints in fossilized mud, silent witnesses to a time when birds were the apex predators. Astropathia, the elephant-like creature with no descendants. Picture a creature that looks like a mix between a hippo and an elephant: short trunk, bulky body, strong legs, but unrelated to any living species. That was the Astropathia, an extinct group of herbivores that once wandered green, swampy Antarctica. These mammals lived around 40 million years ago, when the continent was still a humid, forested landscape. Astropathia could grow up to 4 meters long and weigh several hundred kilos. Their body structure and teeth suggest a diet of soft aquatic plants, leaves, and shoots. Their fossils have been mostly found on Seymour Island, suggesting they lived in marshy, lowland areas. Their short trunk was likely used to pull food from the water, similar to the behavior of modern tapirs or elephants. Though they also lived in South America, the Antarctic populations went extinct when the climate dramatically cooled. Astropathia left no direct descendants, a lost, unique branch in mammal evolution, and a reminder of Antarctica's lush, tropical past. Light of Terns, the tapir-like forest dweller. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice lie the remains of a creature you'd expect to find in a tropical rainforest, not the South Pole. With a body like a small camel and a head resembling a tapir, the so-called Light of Terns inhabit a forgotten chapter in the continent's history. These herbivores lived during the Eocene, when Antarctica was still covered in dense forests and had a mild, humid climate. They were likely related to today's odd-toed ungulates, the group that includes tapirs, horses, and rhinos. Their body structure and teeth indicate a diet of leaves, shoots, and soft vegetation. The presence of such animals shows that Antarctica once supported a fully functional land ecosystem complete with large mammals, plant life, and a stable food chain. But when the continent began to freeze about 34 million years ago, their habitat vanished. The Light of Terns went extinct, disappearing along with the green, habitable Antarctica that once was. Megapenguin, the gentle killer. Long before Antarctica turned into a frozen wasteland, it was home to the largest penguin species ever discovered, Palaeodiptes klekowskii, better known as the megapenguin. This prehistoric seabird could grow up to 2 meters tall and weigh over 100 kilograms, 2 to 3 times heavier than today's emperor penguin. Fossils have been found on Seymour Island, near the Antarctic Peninsula, a region that was a relatively warm coastal area around 34 to 37 million years ago. There, the mega penguins likely hunted large fish, squid, and other marine animals. Their massive size and lung capacity allowed them to dive much deeper and stay submerged longer than modern penguins, possibly up to 40 minutes per dive. The mega penguin was a dominant hunter in its ecosystem, with no natural predators in that era. The species vanished when the climate changed drastically and marine food chains collapsed. Cryolophosaurus, the dinosaur with the ice crest. Where there is now only ice and rock, a predator once roamed with a crest on its head, one of the strangest dinosaurs ever discovered. Cryolophosaurus lived about 180 million years ago, during the early Jurassic, when Antarctica was part of the warm supercontinent Gondwana. Measuring 6 to 7 meters in length, with sharp teeth, it was one of the largest meat-eaters of its time. It belonged to the theropod group, the same group as Tyrannosaurus rex and the ancestors of birds. Its most distinctive feature was a forward-facing crest on its skull. While its exact function is unknown, it likely played a role in communication or mating behavior. Fossils were found in 1,991 on Mount Kirkpatrick, over 4,000 meters high in the Transantarctic Mountains. The discovery proved that even in what is now Antarctica, under much milder conditions, large dinosaurs could thrive. Cryolophosaurus was the first dinosaur ever discovered in Antarctica and remains one of its most iconic. Basilosaurus, the giant whale from the deep. Imagine floating in open water, with an 18-meter-long predator silently swimming beneath you, powerful, stealthy, deadly. In the prehistoric oceans around Antarctica, Basilosaurus was the undisputed ruler of the deep. Despite its name, meaning king lizard, Basilosaurus was not a dinosaur but an early whale. It lived around 40 to 34 million years ago, at the end of the Eocene, when Antarctica was still surrounded by warm, nutrient-rich seas. With a long, serpentine body, sharp teeth, and a jaw wide enough to swallow large prey in one bite, Basilosaurus was a terrifying marine predator. Remarkably, it still had small hind limbs, evolutionary remnants of its four-legged land-dwelling ancestors. These useless legs are literal fossil clues in the transition from land mammals to sea mammals. As the climate changed and Antarctica began to freeze, warm ocean currents vanished and ecosystems collapsed. Basilosaurus, a predator ahead of its time, disappeared along with the world it once ruled. Listaurus, survivor of the ancient world. It looked like a mix between a pig and a lizard squat, low to the ground and anything but majestic, but looks deceive. Listaurus may have been the most successful animal to ever live. Listaurus was a therapsid, a distant ancestor of mammals, and lived 247 million years ago, right after the Permian-Triassic extinction, the greatest mass extinction Earth has ever seen. While most life vanished, Listaurus survived and spread across nearly every continent. Fossils have been found in South Africa, India, and Antarctica, providing undeniable evidence of the supercontinent Gondwana and the theory of continental drift. Scientists believe Listaurus may have been capable of hibernation, a unique survival strategy in harsh environments. If true, this clumsy, seemingly simple creature was evolutionarily ahead of its time. Its survival instinct, adaptability, and global spread make Listaurus one of the most important fossil discoveries from Antarctica and an unexpected hero of prehistory. What once lived beneath forests and swam in warm seas now lies frozen in silence. But if you look closely, you'll see that world is not dead. It's sleeping. And we're only just beginning to discover what it has to reveal. Want to uncover more hidden stories like this? Subscribe, there's still so much lying beneath the surface.